This Champions League Matchday 4 Picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/SGPN. Use the code SGPN for a first deposit match up to $100. And we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. And we're brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Monday, the 6th of November. We are here to have a nose about the Premier League weekend, which is nearly finished. We've got a Monday night game we can touch on, and then we'll have a look around the Champions League. It's Champions League Match Day 4. This midweek, Tuesday and Wednesday, and me and Baz will make some picks for this one. Joining us back, I'm sure he's delighted to be in Nottinghamshire, not in Northern Africa, is Mr. Barry Penaluna. Shaking your head, Baz. What's the matter with you?
I'm just in a world of shit. I just haven't got time for normal life at the moment. Malcolm, it's only midday and I've already had my first nap of the day. No. I can tell you now, as soon as we finish this, I'll be going for my second nap of the day. I dropped the little one off at school, 8:30, 9 o'clock. I was on the sofa, knocked out a good hour. I just got up, had some breakfast, wrote some notes and stuff for this. And yeah, I'm ready for my second nap already. I'm feeling rough as well. This happens to me every time I go on holiday anywhere. Yeah. It's that plane journey home. Like, it's just an incubator for viruses, isn't it? All that horrible air. I think I can't remember a holiday where I don't come back feeling rough, but I'm feeling like I'm coming down with a bit of a bug this morning. But it was all worth it. I had a great time out there. Definitely somewhere I will go back to. Outstanding. Really, really good 10 days. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, absolutely delighted. The only thing that is a positive, Malcolm, I'm really grateful for this SGPN hoodie because it's bloody freezing. I'm used to 30-degree heat every day, so I've not had to wear a hoodie for a while. But I thought this morning, where's that hoodie? So this is doing the business this morning, keeping me up to temperature.
Tell you what, Barry, I wish I had your problems. Yes, all of us working class heroes, people who joined us in the chat. Nose to the grindstone, turning the cogs of industry on a daily basis. You're complaining you've got the sniffles because you've come back from your all-inclusive Egyptian break. Absolutely shameless, Barry. This is a working man's podcast, man. I'm working again tonight, Barry. I was in Cheshire on Saturday. I was down the road at Derwent Valley last night, and I'm off to Ripon tonight, Barry. I don't know if you remember, that place was so posh that woman asked what nationality I was last year. That's how posh it is. She'd clearly never met a Northern English person on the street before. Said, "Excuse me, can I just ask what nationality you are?" Said, "I'm from Newcastle." And everyone started laughing. It was proper funny. But Grantley Hall. If you get a chance, have a look on the website, Baz. Grantley Hall. It's proper swanky, like. So yeah, the chat's live. We didn't think we'd get many people in because it's early. Especially in the States. Captain Insano, firstly, you trolled him yesterday, Baz, for getting knocked out the Guillotine League. And then I forgot to mention that I played him in the SGPN D-Gens League and wiped the floor with him this week as well. Have a bit of that, Captain. Get that down, yeah? Captain Insano's lineup looks like an infirmary for old quarterbacks. There's just a load of quarterbacks in there, injured, quarterbacks with a leg missing. Again, like it's like the Vietnam veterans of fantasy football teams. So, yeah, that stinks, Captain. Have a bit of that. Brian McDonald is here. Brian, good morning. How are you? So, yeah, there you go. Bit of a weird one this week, Baz, because I do feel like we could knock easily a 4-hour show out because, A, I've got some chat, which I've been dying. You know, I've had at least 2 things been wanting to tell you for 2 weeks. I reckon I've got time to squeeze one in. We've got an awful lot of Premier League chat to get through, possibly, if you can be asked. And then we've got the Champions League picks. I mean, you said we had to, the kids were back at school today, Baz. You took yours down. I had to send my 2 off in a canoe this morning, Baz. Nothing to do with the storms, just Mikel Arteta's tears. They're still flooding the streets around here. So the kids were off kayaking down the road through Mikel's salty tears. So we're going to get to that in a little bit. So, yeah, loads of things to cover, Barry. Right, let's get some of this shenanigans out the way. We'll do I'll tell you first about prize picks. Prize picks. You've got the basketball season has started. And prize picks have rolled out this little combination thing, which is great. It's a little specials kind of cross-sport bet. So you can combine, for example, LeBron James and 3-pointers and Travis Kelce receptions and put them together in a little a cross-sport parlay, which is good fun. So if you want to play alongside some of your prize picks favourite players, you can find community players under the promos tab and view entries from some of the biggest names in the prize picks community every week. The reboot policy is great. So if one of your players gets injured, they'll reboot him for you. If you've got a player who exits the game in the first half, doesn't return, that player is rebooted. So, yeah, all sorts of great things there on Prize Picks. I know a lot of the network have been using it and loving it. The thing to do is go to prizepicks.com/SGPN. Use that code for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/SGPN. Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made better. Right, do you want to talk about the weekend Prem, or do you want me to have my little lifestyle story time, Barry, first?
Go with your lifestyle.
Right, okay. I've had this stored up, Barry, since the PSG game, because it's Champions League related as well. And this is a Champions League show, so it works out. Now, I'd actually forgotten about this because I was a bit drunk before the period. Not that we had like 5 pints maybe, so I was nice and merry. And I went out and got very drunk after, and it was a whole thing. So I forgot about it until the second Champions League game against Dortmund, and the same thing happened, Barry. Now, I really like this. You aware of the Champions League music, Barry, the Champions League anthem?
I'm aware of it, yes.
Quite a famous piece of music, isn't it? Did you know? So I think people know there's a bit of words. There's 2 verses and a chorus, Barry. Were you aware of this?
No.
Right. The kid 3 rows behind me, Barry, is very aware of this because he's learned all the words, right? No. Oh, mate, it's fucking great. I hope he does it in the Milan game. I'll try it. I don't think I can get him because he sits behind me. He's learned all the words and decided that I don't know if he thought this is what everybody does because Champions League, he's about 20 years old. He's just a young lad. Like, in the first week, I put it down to a combination of enthusiasm and alcohol. The second time, and he belts the whole thing out, Barry, the entire thing, like 45 seconds worth. So the words are, Barry, the Champions League music it's a specific piece of music designed for the Champions League. Tony Britton, I think, composed it 92. And it's written in French, German, and English, and they repeat the same line over and over again in each language. So the words are, Baz, if you don't know, "Ce sont les meilleures équipes, sie sind der allerbesten Mannschaften." The main event, une grande réunion, die besten, die Meister, les grandes équipes, the champions. So whatever it says in English, it then just repeats in French and German on a little loop until it ends. And this kid's learned a lot, and he knocks it out like Pavarotti, right? It's absolutely incredible. Considering a recreation, can you do the Champions League music, Baz, or do you want me to do and sing?
Oh, you have to do it both. I'm not getting involved in that.
So the teams are coming out, everyone's waving the banners, and the music starts off, and he starts, "Ce sont les meilleures équipes, sie sind allerbesten Mannschaften, les grandes équipes, the champion. But this then goes into the second verse, and he's still good. He's all that. Mate, it's the greatest single thing I've ever seen at a football match in my life. Like, I love it. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a 10 out of 10 from me. The kid deserves a Pride of Britain award. Absolutely brilliant. What do you think of all of that, Baz?
I assume now you've practiced the words, you're going to join him next time.
I might do. I'll give him a knowing look, Baz, when I get in. I'll tip me cap, say, mate, I'm with you. What, we're trying to start a revolution here. In 10 seasons, Barry, I want all 52,000 people singing it like.
Unbelievable. That's a great effort, but not what you would expect. You expect everyone just to shout the champions at the end.
Exactly.
That's the bit. But
I apologise to anybody who's got children or dogs in the room who might have just ran off screaming. Brian says that I've startled his children. Yeah, so I apologise for that. But mate, it was absolutely great, top quality. Really enjoyed it. Mafia, etc., who was in the NFL chat yesterday for the last 10 seconds. He said he'd be back, and he is. So welcome, Mafia. All right, okay, Barry. The next thing we need to talk about, I didn't know whether to talk about this or not, because if we start talking about it, we'll be here in 2 hours' time talking about it. Or I don't think we can completely ignore it. Is the Arsenal incident? Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. First, let's
talk about it, Malcolm. Let's talk about it.
Let's cut to the chase, because it was very, very fucking funny for a start. I just don't get. I've just watched Ref Watch on Sky, yeah. I don't know if any of our US listeners, we have a little program called Ref Watch where they break down all the stuff, and it's actually not that complicated. It's really, really straightforward. The outcry is absolutely ridiculous. I can understand some Arsenal fans being a bit disappointed, because I would be appealing for the foul portion of what happened if it was me. I also think Bruno should have been sent off, because he's forearm smashed the bloke in the head, and I don't know why now suddenly this week you're allowed to use your forearm. You're allowed to do what you want as long as it's with your forearm, apparently. You can hit who you want. But it's nowhere near. What happened on Saturday was nowhere near as bad as the Liverpool one, which was an error. This isn't an error. This is some subjective decisions that went against them. The Liverpool one against Tottenham was an error. This isn't even as bad as the Wolves one that happened on Saturday when they got absolutely sawn off, or the Wolves one that happened last week in Newcastle's favour. I cannot believe, Barry, it's the 6th of November and Mikel Arteta wasn't on the tit list. I think today has to be the day. In fact, he nearly deserves a list of his own big Dolly Parton-sized tits, because his tittery is way beyond the actual normal B-cup tits that we deal with. The whole thing, I'll tell you what, he came out and said it was embarrassing and a disgrace, right? I'll tell him some things that are embarrassing and a disgrace. 0.56 XG, Mikel, is a disgrace. I watched Match of the Day, Barry. Arsenal have 2 highlights on it. Martinelli minges one straight at the goalkeeper, and then Declan Rice has a header from 18 yards that bounces 4 times and goes out for a goal kick. That's embarrassing and a disgrace. He's got a goalie who couldn't keep chickens, who he's decided he should play every week. He concedes a goal every week. That's a disgrace. Spunking all that money on Kai Havertz, who's contributed absolutely 0. That's a disgrace, and that's embarrassing. And just to put a full point on it, anything that happens after Kai Havertz didn't get sent off doesn't count, because Havertz has to be sent off, which changes the entire game. At that point, anything you say is rendered invalid. I think I've kept that pretty short, Baz. What have you got?
He's a complete tit. I've seen a thing on Twitter where just a few weeks ago, something went in their favour. He was asked about it, and he said, "Oh, look, referees make mistakes. Sometimes they make mistakes, and we have to support refs. They're not doing things deliberately." This week, because it's gone the other way, he's gone absolutely berserk. What's more astonishing is Arsenal coming out with a statement, doubling down on it all. Because as you say, it's not the travesty they think it is. The ball probably doesn't go out of play. There isn't anything that suggests it does go out of play, other than that one angle everyone shows from, like, you can't look at an angle which is 15 yards down the pitch and see a gap between the line and the ball and say that ball's out. That's ridiculous. The offside, again, there's nothing. Nobody has provided anything conclusive to say that was offside. To me, he looks like he's probably behind the ball, but you can't see the ball very well, so who knows. And the foul, honestly, if you freeze that picture, it looks far worse than it is. Real time, it's just two people going for the ball. Now than that for me. Good goal. Crack on. But I mean, you mentioned the keeper. I was thinking about this morning. Remember when he brought Raya in and he dropped Ramsdale, and he said at the time, didn't he, was going to have two number one keepers, and he got really arsey with a reporter who asked, is he now your number one? He's like, why do I need to have a number one? I might play Raya this week. I might play Ramsdale next week. And I said to you at the time, everybody knew Raya was going to play every game, and he's played every game. The only game Ramsdale has played is a Carabao Cup game. Everyone plays their sub-keepers in those games anyway. It's not worked out. As you say, the money they spent on Raya and Havertz doesn't look well spent. Bollocks to them. As you say, that one is, it was a shambles. That was actually the only part of the game I saw live. I was in the airport at the time. Sat for a couple of hours in the airport, just in a chair, bored out of my mind, no internet, no nothing. And then walked through to my departure gate, walked past the bar with a Newcastle match on the telly. I could have been, so it's at this point, 30 minutes in, I could have been sat there with a beer watching the football. I'd missed it all, but I just walked past as it was kicking off. And at the time, I was like, surely he's going to go there. Astonishing, really. But yeah, I mean, Arsenal, I watched the game back. And Arsenal were horrible as well, like just diving, moaning, whinging. I mean, we got 3 yellow cards for that Kai Havertz tackle for complaining. Yet they've just whinged their tits off all game. I mean, the whole 5 minutes of that VAR incident, the referee was surrounded by approximately 7 or 8 Arsenal players in his ear constantly. Not one of them got booked. I thought they were a disgrace in the second half, just moaning, whinging, diving. Got what they deserved. Love it.
Yeah, you're right. Arteta has really turned into a pound shop Mourinho. Like, he tries this deflection shit, and it's where everyone's onto him that he is an absolute knob. So he's actually filled the tit list now, Barry. It's full. It's taken, like I say, till the first week in November, and all 6 slots are taken up. So as it stands,
I thought we were full because I thought we'd have to take someone off because I was going to appease them a little bit by taking Saka off. He would be the first one.
I think Saka's the unfortunate one because on the list of crimes, his was really quite low level. All he did was arse about a little bit. But that's what the tit list is for, though. I don't think it's for things that are completely egregious, that are obviously awful acts. I think it's a silly little thing. So Saka will have to see. Mike Dean is still on there. Mike Dean, I didn't realise, Baz. He's got some horses, race horses. He was up at Newcastle the other night, Thursday night maybe, the evening racing up at Newcastle. He had a winner. His horse won up at Newcastle, so he's a bit of a DJ. So that kind of helps a little bit if we need to take him off. Jordan Henderson, Mark Goldbridge. I don't know if I mentioned this on the show the other night, but after we beat Man United in the League Cup, I was trying to send Bob to bed at about 11 o'clock. And obviously he's trying, kids won't ever go to bed. And the last thing he said, Dad, can we just watch Mark Goldbridge's reaction to the Newcastle goals before I go to bed?
I did exactly the same thing.
Did you?
I always go back, to be fair, it wasn't as amusing as it normally is.
No, it wasn't.
Into it by that point.
Rio Ferdinand, he'll do well to get off there. Saka and Mikel Arteta are our 6 tits as it stands. In terms of the pick, I mean, it was a good weekend for Newcastle. 3 of the 4 teams that are above us who played, Tottenham haven't played yet, dropped points. So Liverpool dropped points, Arsenal and Aston Villa. That also means it was a bit of a tricky week for the picks. That kind of tells you where we were for the picks. I've only hit 3, a couple of decent prices, but I'm still behind. That late penalty at Sheffield United, that terrible decision, that's chinned me. That would put me back level. But I've won some last-minute stuff and some lucky stuff, so I can't complain too much. Take note, Arteta. I can't complain about the unlucky stuff. I still think Fulham was the right pick, Barry, against Man United. Like, I spoke to 2 people on Saturday about this game. Before the match, I was at kids' football. Kingsley said, I've put Man United in Miyaka. I fucking called him an idiot. And then I spoke to Harry. I was dealing with Harry. And Harry said, I put Fulham in Miyaka this morning. And I said, you were right. You did the right thing. I feel like I'm sort of guiding people through. But Fulham was the right pick. Man United were terrible and should have got beat. And amazingly, for about the 5th time, they spraffed another one. Liverpool was a complete coupon buster. Munaf messaged me before the game. He often does. What's the play? Said Liverpool first half handicap, Liverpool goal ladder, Liverpool. And then I had to message him with the old little monkey with the hands over his eyes emoji about an hour later saying, sorry, mate. And then Forest bounced back, which we didn't expect at all. The one he played, which was a bit of a difference maker, they had a striker. And Villa away from home, Baz, we're going to have to sort of maybe put them in our system. Because
that's exactly what I noted on that.
Consistently play with that insane high line. Every single time Forest got the ball, they were one pass away from a one-on-one. Every time, 55 times. And they were offside a few times, a few dodgy ones, or the ball was overhit. Sometimes the defender got a little nick on it. But Villa can't carry on like that because they'll just get beat. So, yeah, that was pretty much my reading of the entire Premier League weekend, Barry.
Yeah, my picks were absolute dog shit, Malcolm. But to be fair, I did caveat it all from the hotel lobby by saying I'd been inebriated for most of my last 10 days and I'd spent about half an hour making picks for the weekend. I was for busier, lazing around the pool, snorkeling in the Red Sea. So I didn't put a lot of effort into it and it showed. My picks were absolutely crap. So I hold my hands up and I admit they were crap, but I did tell you beforehand there was a caveat. I hadn't put a lot of work into it. So I definitely need to bounce back this week. I'll be putting a lot more effort in for the midweek show that covers this week's Premier League because I'm going to come back and smash it this week.
Right, well, I'll tell you where you can start bouncing back, Baz. There's one Premier League game tonight, so we'll go over our picks again here, just in case for all the live people. And then anyone who's listening to this tomorrow, Tuesday, can look back when we've made our winning picks and think, oh, hey, these lads are good. I'm going to bet all of these Champions League things. Tottenham-Chelsea tonight, Tottenham 11-10, draw 5-2, Chelsea 23-10. The only thing is, Baz, I think we might have conflicting picks because my bet was Tottenham on the money line. I just didn't know why you can't. Tottenham in good form at home at odds against. I just don't know why you wouldn't keep picking them. I think you made the point that they were being a little bit lucky and a bit patchy. But while they're rolling, I think they will drop off. But until they do, I think I have to keep taking them. I don't know why you wouldn't keep taking them. So my pick was Tottenham here, Baz. But you went against me. I can't quite remember which direction you went.
A draw, Malcolm. But as I say, everything else I've done this week's been absolute crap. So, I wouldn't. Nobody should really listen to me at this stage on this week's show. As I say, I've got some good ones for the Champions League here. We'll be all right. But yeah, I went with the draw, but not massively confident in that pick, just because this weekend's Premier League's absolutely hammered me.
Fair enough. Right, I can close my Champions League lyrics page anyway. Right, we're going to make some Champions League picks then in the next 20 minutes or so. Let me tell you all about who's next. Game time are back. Woohoo! The ticket people. We like game time. Helping you buy tickets without any fuss, which is a massive pain in the arse. Game time, we've got it sussed out. Concerts, any playoff sports that are coming up, theatre, all kind of things. Game time, we've got tickets for. You can forget planning months in advance. With a couple of clicks, Game Time will have you sorted out and all the hassle is gone. So you can look forward to the event, not worried about the tickets. The Game Time guarantee is an absolute belter. They will credit you 110% of the difference if you find tickets in the same section and row for less. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CFBX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. And last but very much not least, Hall of Fame bets, helping everybody win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB and soccer bet with historical stats and data. The Parlay Optimizer tool is the best thing here. Put all your players in, it'll break them down by leg. It'll give you expected probability and hit rates. It'll sort your players by hit rate, stuff like that. So stop betting in the dark. Join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. use the code SGPN at HOFBets.com. Get 50% off your first month. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame bets. 11-2, Barry, on my NFL straight-up picks. I mean, I mentioned about 4 weeks ago, I mentioned it repeatedly, that I did well, so I'll mention that again. I think Captain Insano, you are in that in Moonaf's pick'em. Did you not make your picks last night? What's going on? Did you forget? Or have you down tools? Because I'm just wringing your neck in that as well. Right, Baz. Tuesday and Wednesday. First, have you mentioned, we try not to make it too Newcastle heavy, Baz, and very often fail. The first game off on Tuesday is the Newcastle match. Did you make any picks in it?
Nope.
No.
Because I was really confident. I was confident in picking Newcastle against Dortmund last time round. But I was really impressed with Dortmund. I thought Dortmund played a really good game at St. James's Park. And I genuinely don't know which way I would go with this one, because Newcastle, again, as we said, we said before last weekend, it's hard to back against Newcastle at the moment because Eddie Howe can come up with a plan for absolutely anyone. And I hope he does so in this Dortmund game. But that first leg, Dortmund really surprised me. I thought they played really, really well. And I genuinely have no idea which way that game is going to go. So I didn't make a pick. I'm just going to sit at home and watch it, enjoy it, and hope for the best. I left that one alone. That was
exactly what I thought about it, Baz. I thought Dortmund were great. I underestimated them. I disrespected them a little bit. They were excellent. But then Newcastle have remarkably been able to go to Man United with the D team and win. We've turned over Arsenal. We've got players missing. And like you say, Newcastle, at the minute, you can't back against Newcastle. So really, because there was a list of, 16 games here, I was happy to leave that one alone. The bookies can't split them either, Baz, which tells you. Both teams are 13-5. So if the bookies can't split them, I'm definitely not good enough. So there you go.
Matthew likes Newcastle on the money line. It says Dortmund are slipping form. They did lose 4-0 to Munich at the weekend, didn't they?
Yeah. I think you've got a couple more picks than me, Baz, here, so you can lead us off anyway. You go.
Yeah, I've taken three picks on the Tuesday, 3 on the Wednesday. I started off with the other game in that group. It's AC Milan against PSG. Have you got the prices in front of you, Malcolm?
I have. I've also made a pick in this game, Baz, so we'll have to see what happens. AC Milan is 21-10, plus 210. The draw is 12-5. It might be 13-5 now, actually drifted a little bit, plus 260. And PSG were, more line movement, Baz, were 13-10, plus 130, are now 5-4, plus 120.
Yeah, so I think AC Milan have just got into a bit of a rut at the moment. The start of the season really strongly, won 6 of their first 7 league games. They've since won only 1 of the last 6 games in all competitions. They've lost 3 of those 6, and that included the 3-0 defeat against PSG just a couple of weeks ago. They've yet to score a goal in the Champions League in their 3 games. And PSG, on the other hand, have gone the other way. They had a bit of a stuttering start to the season, but they seem to have clicked recently. Since that defeat with Newcastle, they've won 5 in a row and scored 3 goals in every one of those games. So whilst AC Milan are at home this week, that gives you a slight advantage. But is that enough to turn around a 3-goal deficit from the last time they played 2 weeks ago? And I just don't think it is. I think PSG are playing better now. I think they're a better side, and I think at 6-5, they're a good pick on the money line. So I've gone for PSG to beat Milan at 6-5 plus 120.
Well, Baz, team right, exactly the same notes, exactly the same reasons, exactly the same bet. Milan sitting on 2 points, no goals. Home draw against Newcastle, where they looked okay. They huffed and puffed a little bit. They got a 0 at Dortmund and then got humped off PSG. And they're not full of goals domestically either in Syria. And PSG just seem to be improving a little bit, as you said. They've had 2 good wins either side of that 4-1 defeat at Newcastle. Wins against Milan and Dortmund. Better form in the league, 3 wins in a row before this weekend, scored 3 goals in each of them, and beat Milan 3-0 last time. This was really just a very obvious form line play. Just a straight reading of the lines. PSG, I got them down at 13-10, but we have to take the 5-4 plus 120. We'll do that, Baz. Right, you can go again then, because We've both knocked one off our list.
Yeah, so carrying on Tuesday, again, if you've got the prices in front of you, that would help because I haven't wrote them down. I'm going to the Porto v Antwerp game.
Oh, Barry, that's also my next game. What's going on here, Baz? We might have to start checking each other's notes here. Porto 9-25, minus 277. The draw's 11-4, plus 275. Antwerp are 7-1, Barry.
Yeah, so Porto put themselves in a really good position to qualify. That 4-1 win against Antwerp in the last round of games was a solid win. They now sit on 6 points in second place behind Barcelona. And another win here would pretty much see them through, assuming Barcelona beat Shakhtar Donetsk this week as well. Showed a bit of resilience in the last game, coming from a goal down. They were 1-0 down at half-time to Antwerp before coming away, blowing them away in the second half and winning 4-1. So it was, will this game be a repeat? Well, Porto are home this time. So, bit of an advantage over the last one. The only other home tie they've had in the Champions League yet was the 1-0 defeat to Barca. But they've won comfortably on the road versus both Antwerp and Shakhtar, beating both of them by at least 2 goals. And I'm taking them to do the same here, take a big step towards the knockouts. Antwerp have been beaten in all 3 games so far, and they've conceded 12 goals in the 3 games. I just can't see this being much different to the game a couple of weeks ago. I'm taking Porto on the handicap, minus 1.5 at around evens, plus 100. So Porto, minus 1.5 handicap versus Antwerp at around evens.
Yeah, the thing about this Champions League card, which I quite liked, Baz, which makes it a bit easier, is that it's the reverse fixtures from Matchday 3. So the 2 teams play back-to-back. So you've got an instant comparison game that you can go to. And I thought the prices were wrong here. There's no reason why what happened last time won't happen this time. No reason at all. And like you say, Porto smashed them. Haven't been 1-0 down at half-time, actually. So there is value on Porto here in the handicap, Baz. And in the goal markets, the over 2.5 goals, I think, would be a smash play as part of a parlay, but that's a little bit too short. So it's a goal ladder for me, Baz. Porto to score over 2.5 is 13-8, plus 162. Over 3.5 is 9-2, plus 450. And over 4.5, Baz, Porto goals is 12-1. It's a massive price. Scored 4 last time. Like I say, in the last show, I did say Antwerp are in sort of danger of giving up at this point. So a combination of that and the fact they're shy to start with, Porto could easily smash them up again, Barry. Same game, Barry, so we're going to have to go back to you again. Come on, lead us off.
Right, we're going with Man City v Young Boys.
Right, I don't have this one. I have a blanket Group G play, which this game comes from. But yeah, this was just a little bit of devilment at the end, so you can roll us up your Man City handicap.
So yeah, Man City are 1-14 here. I don't even know what that is in American money. 12-1 the draw, 25-1 Young Boys, 12-1 for the draw. That's crazy, isn't it? So not a game I'd usually be drawn to. When you've got a 1-14 favourite, it's not normally the game that thinks, oh, let's go and see what we can find here. But I've gone here and I've gone for goals in this one. City just seem to have got back into a bit of form in front of goal in recent weeks. That they hadn't been firing on all cylinders for a few weeks until recently. Scored 6 at the weekend, 3 past Man United. They put 3 past Young Boys in the reverse fixture. And those 3 goals, 3-1 win against Young Boys last time, there was no fluke in that. They had an XG of 4, 26 shots on goal, 13 shots on target, and that was in the away game. And we know Man City just don't slip up at the Etihad. At home last season in this competition, we saw them put 3 past Bayern, 4 past Real Madrid, 7 past Leipzig. I think they'll get in amongst the goals again here. Over 3.5 goals for me in the game. Match goals, this is. At even money, plus 100. I mean, Man City can get them all, but you aren't getting much of a better price for Man City to score 4. Man City to score 4 is 5-4. So plus 125. I'd rather just take the evens because Man City are always capable of letting one in. Young Boys did score against them in the last one. So yeah, the pick for me at evens is over 3.5 match goals, Man City v Young Boys.
So yeah, my play this entire Group G, Barry, and it's not an actual play, it's just some numbers. And my final note says knock yourself out. So I'll give you the information, do what yourself with it. But the game, this group is just goals, goals, goals. All the games have had minimum 4 goals. Sorry, all the games have had exactly 4 goals, not minimum 4 goals. And all the games have had both teams to score. So just get them parlay. Do what you want with it. I don't care. But there's the information. I mean, it's not up to me. I can't do everything for you. Yeah, so there's the info. Crack on. It's Red Star Belgrade against Leipzig. Is the other game you're looking for. So Red Star Leipzig and Man City Young Boys. Like I say,
so
all games, all goals.
3.5s, you think?
Sorry?
So double up the over 3.5 in those two. What would
double that up, double it up with both teams to score, yeah, and go, yeah, just go nuts up. Okay, so I didn't have that right. Next up, Baz, I'm going to go back to the game, and again, I felt like it was a bit boring, but Wednesday, I'm going to go back to Real Sociedad against Benfica, because I did last time, 2 weeks ago, took Sociedad at 13-5, possibly plus 260 in Benfica, and got a lovely money line win. We did quite well in the Champions League last time out, Baz. So the reverse fixture, this is the early kickoff on Wednesday, so don't get caught out. 5:45, 12:45 Eastern time. Sociedad this time are 19-20, minus 105. The draw is 13-5, plus 260. And Benfica are 11-4, plus 275. Sociedad now top of this group with 7 points after that 1-0 win in Benfica. Benfica, a part of my handicap was, they've got no points and no goals last time. They've still got no points and no goals because they got beat 1-0. 5 of 6 games in this group have gone under 2.5. So it's completely the opposite to that Group G with City in it. And the only game that went over 2.5 goals in this group involved the other 2 teams. So neither of these 2 teams were involved. The under 2.5 bars is 4-5 at minus 120. Sociedad to win is 19-20 minus 105. And if you want to go a little bit fancier, Sociedad to win with under 3 goals is 11-5 plus 320. Plus 220. So if Sociedad can get out that 1 or 2-0 win, which I think they will. So any combination, if you want to just keep it simple, go with the under 2.5 or Sociedad. If you want to parlay them, you'll get plus 220, 11-5 on Sociedad to win with under 3 goals, Barry.
Next up for me is Napoli versus Union Berlin. Let's just bring the prices up for you here. Napoli.
That's an early game as well, by the way. Anyway, that's another same time as that Sociedad game, so that's the tea time kick-off, 5:45. Yeah, I've got
that's right. Napoli
2-5, Napoli minus 250. The draw is plus 375, and Union Berlin are 7-1, but.
Yeah, so 1-0 in the last round of games. The game at Berlin. Napoli won away in Braga. They've won away in Berlin, but they lost their only home game, being the Real Madrid match. But for me, the Union Berlin fairy tale is finished, isn't it? They've lost 12 games in a row in all competitions. 12 games in a row is astonishing for any team at any level of football. They failed to score in each of the last 5 games as well. So while Napoli haven't quite hit the heights of last season, I think they're sitting 4th in Serie A, mixed bag of results. But what I noticed when they do win, more often than not, they cover the handicap. The last 7 wins in Serie A have all been by 2 or more goals. And I think they can win this one by 2 or more. As I say, they beat them away 1-0. Bit of home comfort for Napoli. And Union Berlin have just gone. They've lost it. Napoli on the handicap, minus 1.5. Plus money, 11-10. So yeah, the pick for me is Napoli to win by 2 or more at 11-10, plus 110.
Baz, I think we might have to invite a third person into our relationship here. It's gone a bit stale. My pick is on Napoli versus Union Berlin, and is Napoli on the handicap. It just looks like a mismatch, doesn't it? Napoli won 1-0 in Germany, and I think you can tag another one on for home advantage. So that to me just makes it at least 2-0. Berlin are in terrible form. That's 7 in a row in the league. 5 of them by more than 1 goal. The more I looked at this, the stronger I liked it, Barry. This was probably one of my strongest fields of the week. So yeah, 13-10 plus 130 for Napoli to cover the handicap.
Let's have a look, Malcolm. Which games have we been in sync on here? Because I'm going to put up a parlay at the end.
Milan, we've taken PSG, Baz. We've taken Porto on the handicap. You've taken City, which I kind of co-signed with my goals. You didn't mention the only game you didn't mention the Sociedad Benfica game that I took, Barry.
So I think we've had 3, haven't we? It was PSG. We both like Porto on the handicap, and we both like Napoli handicap. So I'm going to stick them in a treble. We'll see where we finish up. We'll put out a parlay of our team rides this week, see how we go with that. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's live. We'll see if there's anything else we're in sync on. Next up for me is Arsenal versus Sevilla. 2-1 in the last round of games. Arsenal won that one 2-1, I should say. That was away from home in Sevilla. Sevilla just continue to struggle this season. They'll be looking at this probably now, hoping to finish third in this group, drop down into the Europa League, which is their forte, isn't it? They always thrive in that league. This Champions League's a step too far for them. Europa League, they'll probably go on and win it. So if they can finish third, they'd probably be quite happy with that. They've still only won 2 games all season in La Liga. They're sitting down in 15th. They're more at risk in being dragged into a relegation battle than qualify for Europe again as it stands. They're winless in this competition, and I think they'll continue to be winless after this one. We can't continue to handicap Sevilla based on previous years' European efforts. You have to look at what they're doing right now this season, and that's not a lot. I think Arsenal win again, and it's another handicap one for me. Arsenal at home, very similar to that Napoli pick, the home advantage counting for an extra goal, hopefully. So Arsenal v Sevilla, Arsenal minus 1.5 handicap at 10-11, minus 110.
Mafia's gone the other way, Baz. He likes, I think he's just trying to wind you up, really. Sevilla to win or draw. I had nothing in this one at all, Baz. Didn't look at it. Fucking Arsenal. Arsenal can get in the sea this week. I've got one pick left, Barry.
Can I guess where you're going? Can I guess where you're going?
I'll give you a clue. Right, okay. I've written down one word, Barry. One word. That's it. What is the word?
Copenhagen.
It's the right answer. There it is.
I knew for a fact. I knew it.
Yeah. I don't need to do. People don't need any more insight than that. Listen, Fulham was the right pick. Didn't win. Copenhagen's the right pick. Might not win. Copenhagen's the right pick. You've got to stay with the process of fading dog shit teams. And Copenhagen have been a little bit spunky, Baz. So yeah, Copenhagen.
Yeah, so I've got a pick on the same game. Got a new name in the chat there. Ollie Beckett's listening and he's asking for an ACCA with our strongest picks at the end. Well, I've got that coming up. There's 3 games where we are in sync and have the same ideas. And it comes up at a decent price. So I'll get that over to you in a little bit. My Copenhagen Man U, I didn't want to be as obvious as you because we just seemed to... plus, I knew for a fact you would have that pick on that game.
Sorry.
But they're a good price.
It's a great price.
Yeah, 16-5. You're getting better than 3-1 for any team at home to Man United. Love it. I'm happy with that. But yeah, I mean, they were unlucky to lose the first game. Missed that crucial penalty late on. You couldn't split the two on the stats side of things. Both had an XG of around 1.1. Shots on goal was 15-14. They both had 4 shots on target each. Copenhagen have won their 3 subsequent games domestically, whereas Man United went and lost 3-0 to City, 3-0 to Newcastle before that fortunate win over Fulham. I can just see the game following a similar pattern to the first leg. I think a single goal could decide it again. Hopefully that is a Copenhagen single goal. But I like the unders for that reason. Unders at plus money is a decent price. Man United aren't scoring freely at all. They scored just 2 goals in the last 4 games. They're still one of the slowest scoring teams in the Premier League. I think they've got 12 goals. They're certainly, in terms of anybody, everyone in the top 8 or so has scored at least 20 goals so far, and Man United are a long way behind with their goals. So I think the under is a good price. Under 2.5 in the Copenhagen versus Man United. It's 11-10 plus 110 is a bet I like. But I I also love the Copenhagen play. If I was taking an underdog this week, Copenhagen would absolutely be it.
Right, I'm done, Baz. I think have you got one more left, possibly?
No, I think that's me done as well. I've got done my 6 picks.
Well,
I have three for the Tuesday, 3 for the Wednesday. We had 3 games, Malcolm, where we were both in tune. And to reiterate, we don't compare notes beforehand. We literally just go in, we find our best thoughts on the games, and we've come out on the same side of a few things. So what we had was Napoli to win by 2 or more, so minus 1.5 on the handicap. Porto to win by 2 or more, so that's the handicap again, minus 1.5. And PSG just to win on the money line. Comes up at 8-1. Nice little 8-1 treble there, Malcolm. So we put that out as a treble. Ollie, that's our 3 picks where we're all in sync. And I like each of them individually. I think they're all solid plays. So yeah, to reiterate, Napoli and Porto on the handicap, and then treble it up with PSG to beat AC Milan away from home.
I like that, Baz. I can't remember the last time we seemed full of confidence today for some reason. I don't know why.
I shouldn't be full of confidence after the weekend.
Absolutely not. We've got no business being confident about anything. We'll sit here shamelessly throwing out these picks like we know what we're talking about. I love it. Right, well done, Baz. Thank you for joining us in your hour of despair and return. Did you bring anything back from the Egypt?
I did bring something back.
What did you bring back?
A bit of a gambling twist. Did you see my Twitter post?
Oh, I did see this. This is quite a good story. Yeah, tell us.
Unbelievable. So we go to watch the entertainment in the hotel, and the entertainment is absolutely naff, like proper low-level entertainment. Like, it's one thing the hotel didn't have was good entertainment. But I wasn't bothered about that. I'm quite happy sitting in a bar on my own, playing cards with the kids and being served drinks all night long. So I was fine. But anyway, we watched the entertainment one night. I think it was a magic show. So there was a 20-minute magic show or something, which was pretty naff. And then it was followed by family bingo, £2 a ticket, 1 little bingo strip each. So we all had a ticket. Kids chose theirs. I get left for the last one. So fine, off we go. I went and won the full house, didn't I? Main prize, number 1. So walks up the stage to get me prize and gets handed this sort of bag, zipped up bag. No idea what's in it. Oh, there's your prize. Go back to me desk, me chair. Open it up. It's a bloody shisha pipe. Like, massive thing. Like the glass bottle, the big steel thing, the ashtray at the top, the big hose with the full works in a bag. What if the 10-year-old Ben had won a shisha pipe for their first? I couldn't believe it. Like, only in Egypt can the main prize in the bingo be a shisha pipe. Did I bring it home? Damn right, I brought it home. I'll have it on the show Wednesday, Malcolm. I was going to say, if this treble hits, Baz, you need to be fully stocked up, smoking something out of that shisha pipe on the next show. You'll be sorely disappointed if you're not. So yeah, that was a bizarre one. I'm calling it the bingo bong.
Me.
It's even got a name. Basically won a bong in a family game of bingo. But there you go.
Oh, that's outstanding. Well done, Baz. I enjoyed that. Right, let's go. People have got stuff to do. Are you back to work tomorrow, son?
Unfortunately. Got work tomorrow. I've got football training tomorrow with the girls, 8 o'clock. So that's literally Newcastle match, done, dusted, and then straight out down to the field. I'm hoping it pisses down with rain and gets cancelled.
Just cancel it, mate. All of ours has been cancelled because obviously everyone wants to watch the match. So.
Just quickly, Malcolm, Ollie's asking what we think for tonight because he's obviously jumped in late. I had took the draw, Ollie, but Malcolm is all over Spurs. I did say my Premier League picks this week have been very poor. I've been on holiday, not putting a lot of effort in. I would listen to Malcolm over me, but I went with a draw, and Malcolm likes Spurs in this one tonight. Yeah,
not much help tonight, Ollie. Bit of a crossfire on that one, unfortunately. Right. Cheers, everyone. Ollie, Mafia, Captain Insane, O'Brien in the chat. Cheers, Baz, for getting off your grumpy chair and doing this. What did you say, Wednesday night, is it?
It's normally a Wednesday, isn't it? That would be our normal... we need to get back into the routine. We've been a bit out of out of the routine with me being away, so we do need to try and get back to the old Wednesday, Sunday. So hopefully should be Wednesday night. Mafia's asking the same, but we'll schedule it. We'll get it scheduled on YouTube, so keep an eye out.
That's what we'll do.
We might go live during the Wednesday night games and see if a few of our picks come in.
That is a good idea. Good luck with all your bets, everybody, and we will see you down the road. Cheers.